all the late night talk shows, and I currently have them organized by date of release. It started with The Tonight Show, which is technically still on. Then Jack Parr, who was the heartthrob guy of the time, took over. Then Steve Allen took over, who was a comedian, and some of you might actually remember Steve Allen. He was a pretty funny guy. Then Steve Allen, Playhouse, Jack Parr again, and then the one that everybody knows, The Tonight Show, starring Johnny.
This is
Carson.
when late night TV hit its stride.
Yes.
Now, one of the main reasons
the golden era,
the Tonight Show or the late night shows did as well as they did, is back in the day, people worked all day. They got up at 7, were at work by 8. They were usually done between 5 and 7 o'clock at night. Got home by 8 o'clock that night. And here in Detroit, if you go to a lot of the older homes, they have a second bathroom or slop sink toilet combination in the basement. That was called a muck room.
Yes,
because the men would come home so dirty. They would literally walk to the basement, clean up before they were presentable to come upstairs to eat their dinner and watch a late show.
Yeah, that's actually
in current year. We've got so many people sucking on either the tit or the dick of the government. You take your pick, or working part-time, not working at all, or working from home. That the Tonight Show thing doesn't really catch as many eyeballs as it used to, especially now that it's been converted, in my opinion, to nothing but propaganda for the left.
Yeah, it used to be during the height of the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. It was highbrow comedy. He had people of note on there. Everybody from other comedians of his own stripe to politicians.
What about the Animal Nights?
Actors. The Animal Nights were...
Oh my God. Some of the best outtakes from that show.
I wish we could play the outtakes. The problem is YouTube will hit us.
No, we'll get hammered.
Yeah.
I like the one where they actually had they brought in a bear and it was getting a little squirrely. He literally got up and was like,
get ready to run for it.
He was getting ready to run away. I was like 14 watching that. I'm like, oh my God, that's hilarious.
There was one where it was like a lemur or something was like climbing all over his head.
Yes.
Like a big furry panda-ish looking thing. And he was pretty distraught about that one too. But the point being, the whole thing about the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson was relief from the normal day for the American public. And Johnny Carson really understood his art. He had, who was the guy who did Dorf on Golf?
I don't remember.
Do you remember the skit though?
Yeah.
I believe that was Tim Conley.
Thank you, Tim Conley.
Tim Conway, one of those two.
Yeah, Tim Conway, I believe.
I believe that.
Somewhere in there. Anyway. And then Ed McMahon was always right there covering down for Johnny and making sure everything went smoothly, introducing the guests and all of that stuff. And I think actually we could probably get away.
No, don't play anything for
No, you don't want the intro?
No, don't do it. We'll get hammered. Listen, they're assholes, intro. Man, and we're under a microscope already.
Yeah, I know.
There's no need to make it easy.
I know. I hate that. I love the Johnny Carson intro.
I know.
It kills me. I just want to do that. But as time went on, the David Frost show, the new Bill Cosby show, nobody knew what was going on there, 1972 to 1973, but his talk show didn't last all that long. Jack Parr made more than one comeback.
One of the main reasons the Bill Cosby thing didn't really go that long is, one, there was a lot of racial tension back then, and two, he had a potty mouth.
Bill Cosby?
Not in front of the camera.
Off camera.
Off camera. He was...
Because Richard Pryor was the one who had the potty mouth.
Oh, yeah, but Richard Pryor didn't give a shit about his potty mouth.
He cared not at all.
He's just like me. Yeah. I don't care about
No, you hold nothing to Richard Pryor.
No.
That guy was a master of... Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, he was really good at swearing.
Yeah, he was extremely good at swearing. Yeah. Eddie Murphy tried. Eddie Murphy is Richard Pryor light with a one-ball vasectomy.
One-ball vasectomy?
Yeah.
So what-
Eddie Murphy was funny, but he couldn't hold a candle to Richard Pryor.
not on the regular.
Uh-uh.
No, some of those Eddie Murphy specials where all the jokes had been polished and everything, they
Yeah.
were really good.
Don't get me wrong. I love me Beverly Hills Cop 1
But Richard Pryor was just walk around funny all the time.
all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And I believe he was on a Carson more than once.
Mm-hmm.
And Carson had to like slow.
Yeah.
Slow it down.
And actually, Carson
Yeah.
had quite the list of individuals that he would not allow on his show.
Did he?
Yes.
I didn't know
I don't
that.
remember who they all were, but a lot of people made that list and they never even found out why.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I had never heard that before.
And of course, he's dead now. So I believe Johnny Carson burned in.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know that.
He's dead.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
He had a good run.
Mhm.
He had a good run. Anyway, the other late night show that really took off, of course, was Late Night with David Letterman.
Ah,
He didn't have Carson's polish by a mile, but the guy was absolutely funny as hell. And he had the top 10, wasn't him?
yes. He was
Yes.
in the top 10.
He would do top 10 of God knows what else. And this was 82 to 93. Then Larry King Live, for those of you who like the Geritol crowd. Later with Bob Costas, the Arsenio Hall show, which was on for a minute, but wasn't that
First of
great.
all, I actually liked the Arsenio Hall show.
Really?
Yeah.
Guy's got artificial fingers. His fingers are like 14 inches long.
Yeah, I know, but I actually liked the show. It's okay.
Did you?
Yeah.
I think
I
I watched like one time.
No, I watched it on, not every night, but 2 or 3 times a week. I thought it was okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let me make this announcement. All right, everybody, YouTube has demonetized us to an extremely unreasonable level since we're at roughly 2015. So any donations you make to the channel go a long way to keep this going. So please help us out. Sorry for begging for money all the time, but it is what it is. I got to pay the bills. There you go.
That is what it is.
Yep.
And we put a lot of work into this stuff. So we appreciate everything you help us with. We've been doing this for a very, very long time. Of course, after Johnny retired in 92, Jay Leno stepped into his shoes and he ran a pretty good show for quite a while. But in my opinion, that's when the wheels started to come off.
Talking about Jay Leno?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the propaganda stuff.
Yeah, you could see the propaganda slipping in. Like, for instance, I remember watching, I think it was a documentary on the talk shows and how much work those guys actually put in. And just to do the show every night, it's quite, it was quite a trip. But you see the amount of material they're handed to work with. And it just, when it first started off, they were focused on, hey, pick from this stack of stuff and see what's funny, make people laugh so they can come back and watch more shows, to you need to cover this because we're telling you to, we signed your checks. And that made all the difference in the world. Why the ratings started tanking and everything else, because it just wasn't funny anymore when you start adding an agenda / propaganda. Yeah. In the back,
and where the only thing that counts is your board numbers.
Correct.
You're getting the the stockholders paid, and that just killed the whole. Well, all of it really.
Yeah, it destroyed the whole thing. Like, comedy is comedy.
Yeah,
and one of the main tasks of a comedian is to literally ride the surfboard of truth between lies and the absolute truth, and try to piss off as many people as you can along that journey. And that's
in
just as
artful a way as possible.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I've been doing it for 15 years now. I did it under the noses of the regular army.
You got called out for that once, as I recall. Yeah. That was pretty good. He got called out for his comedy routine by the United States Army.
Yes. They got really upset at me, and I got away with it because I sold it as my therapy.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go. There you go. Absolutely. They're your therapy. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, listen, most of you guys who watch this show, you need to come to Jesus moment here. As much as I'm helping you, I'm helping myself by releasing a lot of the negativity that I have rolling around inside this, meat suit.
Yeah,
Because-
that's why I continue to do this.
Yeah, well, I mean, Battle Dwarf and I have faced some pretty egregious shit in the divorce court world and what have you, to the point of, becoming suicidal. And if it could get me and it can get him, it can get anyone. And that's kind of why I flipped the script and turned it into comedy back in 2009-ish, 2010, and really went forward with it starting in 2000, end of 2000.
I have a terrible idea.
What?
I have a terrible idea.
What?
What if we started a late night talk show?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
We need a stage, little desk.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
We could do what we need to have writers and stuff. We just
don't
don't
need
have
writers.
We don't have the staff.
We don't need stinking writers.
We don't need your stinking writers.
Stinking writers. This is 2024. I have an AI write the damn thing.
But
Of course, AI will tell the truth. We'll get banned on everything.
But my thing is this: I literally would come home from doing whatever the hell I was doing in the 90s, turn on the TV around 10:30, and then wait for the Tonight Show to come on around 11, anywhere between 11 and midnight. There was a couple of them just to see what was going on, and this was before, in my opinion, before the propaganda really started getting stupid. And it was, I would say, it was quite contenting. You got to see what was going on. It was funny. They presented it in a funny way, and it just made everything that happened during the day just that much more easy to live with.
Yeah, it was a release. It was a pressure valve. You get home, you go, let the damn pressure off.
That's right.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.